Hey everyone, welcome back to Casey 3D Sparks. Today we are going to be creating a rowboat miniature. So I am going to model this rather big. I'm going to model it as big as my printer will allow me to. So my printer only prints 5 by 5 by 5. So I'm probably going to stretch this to a little less than that. So we are going to start with our cube here. But don't forget to set up your scene first. So go to your scene tab, change the unit to whichever you prefer to. I'm going to work in inches. And then I also changed the scale of my grid floor to 1/4 of an inch. So that way it's a little bit easier for me. And that should be it. So for our cube, the dimensions are 2 inches right now. So that's actually a little bit small. Usually it's always too big for the minis that I make, but not today. So for Z axis, actually, I guess it is a little bit too big. I'm thinking about 1/2 an inch or maybe 1/4 of an inch. We'll just start with 1/2 an inch and then I think it'll probably get bigger from there. So let's do that. For the Y axis, I want to do probably 4 3/4 inch. All right. And from there, I will just thicken up the x-axis as I model. So I'll just leave it at 2 inches for now, but that'll probably get bigger as we go on. Let's go ahead and we can tab into edit mode. And I'm just gonna hit N because I don't need that menu anymore. Let's see. I'll probably just pop that open when I go to verify the dimensions later on when I'm ready to print. First things first, I do want this rowboat to be kind of one of those flat-ended ones with the pointy tip, and then it has a bench curved seat on the back and then one regular bench seat up in the middle-ish. So that's kind of the design I'm going for. So first things first, let's go ahead and just hit Z to go into wireframe view. I'm going to leave it on the vertices selection, deselect everything with A, and border select these because I want to go ahead and size along the x-axis to get a different shape. And we're going to hit Control R, bring this up to maybe about here, and size along the x-axis there. Maybe look like that. That looks good. Cool. Go back into top view, and then we are going to do Control R again, add in a center one here, and bring this up. And that is our basic shape. Go ahead and select that vertice, and we're going to delete that because we want our boat to be hollow, and we'll add in the thickness when we add in the benches in a minute. So going from there, kind of just plotting out where my lines are so I can plan out where my benches go. Also, since this is a miniature and we're not gonna like render anything at all, I am going to leave the bottom flat as well so it actually sits on my tabletop. But I will go ahead and grab all of the vertices here and size them in a little bit to still give it that nice like boat curve. Maybe about there, looks good. But I'm gonna make sure the bottom is still flat. And I'll probably do the same for the inside of the boat in case if I actually like put a mini or something in there, they're not like falling over or anything. So it's gonna be a little bit modified of a rowboat, but it's going to be a functional one, hopefully, for my gaming needs. So now that we have that, this line here will actually probably be where our benches will go. So we're going to hit E to extrude, pull this up, size it out just a teeny bit, not very much, because when we add our subdivision surface, it'll smooth that out for us. Awesome. So let's go into the side view here, and we're going to actually pull this up a bit and rotate it. Oh, that might be too much. Going to give it a little bit there. Let's grab these. Like that. Maybe bring this up a little bit. That looks neat. Okay, I think I'm happy with that. So again, Alt right click to grab the whole loop And we'll go ahead and start adding in the benches in the inner part of the boat. Okay, so E to extrude, we're going to go into top view, and we're going to go ahead and size that in. Now, if you wanted, you could certainly delete half of this and add on a mirror modifier if you wanted to. I don't think I am today since this is a pretty simple mesh, but feel free to cut it in half so you only have to model one side, especially if you end up adding in a lot of detail. I think I'll do that, looks good. B to extrude again and start bringing it down, going to side view. About there. But I am going to grab, actually, undo that. We're going to go ahead and size along the Z axis so we can get this back to being flat and bring that down to here. Perfect. E to extrude again. Do maybe the width of how much our benches are going to be, which actually might bring that back up a little bit, because I think I want my benches to be a little bit higher. Yeah, probably about there. E to extrude again to be the bottom of the boat. Probably size that in some. Same with this. Looks good. Awesome. Okay, and then I'll worry about the facing that off a little bit later, or I might just hit F for now. Not the cleanest way to do it, but we are just printing it, so it should be fine. Let's go into the modifiers, and we can add our subdivision surface modifier, see how it looks. Okay, it's looking good. I usually crank this up to about 3. We'll sharpen out a lot of these edges a little bit later, but for now, I think I just want to hide it. I just wanted to see how it was actually going to look. Cool, so now we can go back in and do our benches. So let's look at the top view. We are going to want to add in a loop here. Do that so we can put our bench right across here. This one will be the easiest, so I'm just going to go to face selection here, grab this one and grab this one. I'm going to hit spacebar, bridge edge loops, hit enter, and there's our first bench. Awesome, very easy. Now for the next bench, it'll be a little bit more complicated, but not incredibly so. So go ahead, Control R again. Oh, that's actually a little bit smaller, maybe about there. Looks good. This one's going to be a little bit different. Like I said, I want it to be kind of like it comes out and then it has like a curve and then another regular straight line here. So what we can do here is we'll go into top view, and then what we will do is E to extrude. It'll be a little bit weird. You might have a better technique than I do for this, but this is just what I'm going to do. Bring that to about the center where our edge loop is, and then hit the space bar. I'm kidding. Grab this face first, hit the space bar, do the bridge edge loops again. Go into the vertex select mode. Grab these, do Alt M at last, and do the same for these two. Okay, and now we just want to delete our extra faces. So grab this one. I think that's our only extra face. Oh wait, no, that one's extra as well. So X faces should be good. Yep, perfect. So now we have our bench built out. Let's go ahead and add a loop here. Add a loop here, and we're going to grab this one and just pull that back. Maybe there. So let's go ahead and look at that. Perfect. So now we just pretty much have a lot of edge sharpening to do. There we go. Not sure how I feel about this bench seat. It looks a little bit different than what I imagined. I think what I'll do is add in 2 more edge loops here. I'm gonna grab these 2. And do that. I'm gonna like that a little bit better. I might sharpen this a tad, just so we get a little bit more depth out of that. Ooh, I like that a lot better. Okay. However, I do want to unsharpen this edge so we don't get that weird crease. Still a little bit of weird crease, but not that bad. It won't be too crazy once we print it out. Okay, so now all we have to do is add on the actual, I don't know what they're called, the little rests that the oars will sit on. I don't know the actual technical name of that. If you do, that'd be cool if you let me know so I don't have to say the little things. Anyway, so let's go ahead and add those on. So 3, because we want to match up kind of with where the bench is, put them right about here. So we already have these vertices lined up, so we'll just add in 1 more loop, bring that to about, I don't know, about there. Looks good. So what we can do is make sure that they are straight. So we'll go ahead, bring that there. And this there, and do the same to this side. Go ahead, grab these 4 on each side. E to extrude, go into side view, bring them up. Add a loop through here. Go into wireframe view so I can just grab all of them and bring them down. And now what I'm going to do is just grab everything and sharpen it. And I might unsharpen this edge. I jumped the gun a little bit there, so let's undo that. So I want to leave that loop there, but I forgot I needed to add in, whoops, 2 more here so it actually stays flat. And then we can go ahead, grab these, go into side view again, then pull that down. There we go, that makes more sense. Grab everything, sharpen it, and then we can unsharpen these. Just kind of like what we did with the weapons rack, if you saw that last week. Pretty similar to that. Perfect, so now our oars will sit there. Might be a little bit wide, but that's just gonna be my interpretation of it. So let's go ahead, we can Shift A, we are going to do a cylinder. Pull that over, and this will be our oar. Let's rotate this 90 degrees, and we are going to size this, but not along the y-axis. Okay, so I'm going to deselect everything, grab this, I'm just going to hit E to extrude. Oops. Undo that. You have to go into wireframe view first, grab this, E to extrude, pull that out just a little bit, and then we are going to size along the x-axis. Quite a significant amount, maybe not that much to start off. Start pulling that down a little bit. E to extrude again. X-axis. And we will add a subdivision surface modifier in a second. E to extrude. E to extrude again, like that. Subdivision surface, maybe just do 2. Should only need 2 for that. We will want to sharpen this loop. And we're going to want to just add a couple loops to up here. Because I don't want to sharpen that completely. I think it would look nicer with more of a rounded edge. Perfect, and then I would just print 2 of those. I could probably duplicate that and print them at the same time, and then print the boat as is. Perfect. So if you guys have any questions, let me know what you think, or just any general comments, please post them below. I'd love to hear any feedback or just any requests as well. Don't forget to like, subscribe as well. I'd really appreciate it. It lets me know that you guys liked the video and that I should keep going. And I will be printing this out, so stay tuned for another video. I'm not sure what time that will be up yet, but it will be either later today or early morning tomorrow. Hopefully it'll just be later today though. But anyway, thank you so much again. I'll see you guys next week.